Hey guys, how you doing? It's KJ here from the Scariest Movie Ever Made and RiggedReality.com. So just recently I was hanging out with a dear lady friend of mine who coaxed me into watching this movie I really didn't want to watch, but I'm glad I did now because I'm making a video about it and I want to share it with you. And she's familiar with the kind of videos I make and the kind of work I do, and she thought I might get something out of it. And she was spot on. So here's the video, guys, and it's called Paul, is the movie, P-A-U-L. You see the picture, you're probably familiar with it, maybe you saw it. I don't know. It's supposed to be a comedy. I didn't think it was very funny myself, but I did find a lot of very interesting symbolism in here and interesting undertones and messages. And that's what I do. If you're not familiar with my channel or my work, please check out some of my other videos and understand that that's kind of what I'm into, is I try to show you the language of symbols in our world and even symbolism and kind of the connection with different themes we see, especially in media, okay, the way things work. And that really is the way things are working. We really have to question everything, okay? You can't just take things for what they are on the surface, especially when we're dealing with movies and television. Not to get too deep into it, some of you guys already know this out there, but I mean, I worked for a while out in California myself, in Hollywood and TV, more production type stuff, but as a writer I even had an agent, sold a few things, stuff like this. So I have some connection to that, okay, to a degree. But, you know, I've done my research throughout the years and kind of figured a few things out, and that's what I do, is share it with you guys, okay? Also look at Hollywood itself. Where does the name come from? Well, Hollywood is talking about the wood from the holly tree. And an interesting thing about that is that throughout history, the wood from the holly tree is what witches have always used to create their wands. Okay, so it goes to show you that Hollywood really is about magic. It's about spells. A lot of these people making these movies and putting them out are modern-day sorcerers, even to a degree. Wizards, witches, if you will, all right? And that goes back to connections with the Illuminati. Now, if you're not familiar with the Illuminati, again, check out some of my videos, or just do a search online or just on YouTube in general. You're going to see tons of videos on that, okay? If all you know about the Illuminati is what you saw with Tom Hanks on the Da Vinci Code, you don't know nothing, okay? So do some real research. I'm going to get into some of that history here in just a second, too, okay? So before we do, anyway, let's just get to the movie here real quick, guys. So Paul, so I check it out. Now, what I found interesting about it is this. These aliens, that's Paul right there, you see, these gray aliens that we've been inundated with throughout years, even back to E.T. and all that stuff, okay? These are, all right, in my opinion, these are the fallen angels, all right? This is all part of a devilish deception to come, a grand illusion, a grand delusion, but it's all part of it, okay? And all the UFOs that we're seeing and all this other stuff, we're all being set up, okay? And in movies a lot of the time, too, what you're going to find are two very common ideas. It's predictive programming is one, and social engineering is the other. People often complain why there's no, originality in Hollywood. Everything seems like the same story over and over and over. Well, that's all for a purpose, you see. These are the same messages they're programming us with over and over and over again. It's always the same kind of a message a lot of the time, okay? I've done some recent videos and I kind of showed where even in a lot of movies lately, Christians are under attack. You see that. They're always portrayed as these Bible-thumping idiots, or hardline, closed-minded jerks, whatever it's going to be, okay? And I'll give you that, a lot of religious people, so to speak, can definitely be that way. But there's a big difference between religion and faith, and we'll get to some of that here in just a little bit as well. Anyway, keeping in mind, guys, aliens and the connection to the fallen angels. I'm going to show you some more information on that near the end of this video. But keeping that in mind and some of the other themes we talked about, here's Paul. So here's what I thought was interesting. There's a few things that popped up in the movie. There's Paul. But right here. So really, to me, the whole movie, regardless of the cops chasing these guys, the FBI, the cross-country trip, the alien, the whole story really is about this girl right here. That's Kristen Wiig, the actress from Saturday Night Live. And of course, there's the Illuminati one-eye symbolism. She's got one eye out, so she's wearing that at the beginning of the movie. But the whole idea really is kind of about her fall from grace, okay? It's about her losing her faith in Christ Jesus, her losing her faith in God because she meets this alien, all right? And again, back to some of my other videos and other research I've done, I do believe there will be a great deception. We're not being inundated with these images and movies and ideas for no reason. We're not seeing all these UFOs and stuff, especially in 2012. More UFO sightings ever than recorded history was in 2012, and more here in 2013. All this stuff is happening for a reason. It's not just by chance, okay? And I believe it's because we're being set up. These things are going to come down. They'll probably come as our saviors or as good guys, but ultimately they're going to be devilish deceivers, okay? So anyway, here's Kristen Wiig. She's got the cross around her neck. She's the good Christian girl in this. She's wearing a shirt that says "Evolve This." Get a load of that. Evolve this. This is the way Christians, again, are portrayed throughout film. You wonder why so many people hate Jesus, hate God, and hate Christians. But evolve this. It's a picture of Jesus Christ with a pistol blowing Darwin's brains out. Okay, so... And just a little side I wanted to do concerning the whole atheist versus Christian thing. We're seeing much more of that. We're seeing a bit of a rise of atheism in our world and a falling away of Christianity, a falling away of the church. Okay, well, guys, we're living in a time right now, I believe, that we are literally seeing the separation of the sheep from the goats. All right, that's why I think it's very important, especially with, if you're trying to follow God, if you believe in God, if you have Christ in your heart, and you're trying to live that kind of a life, you're going to be under attack even more nowadays, okay? We're showing our true colors in this time, all of us, the good and the bad, okay? People are either going to become more evil and more fallen away and more lost, or they're going to draw closer to God. We're seeing more miracles. We're seeing more watchers and more watchmen and more watchwomen rise up. People are having dreams. People are having visions. I mean, the battle is on. It's a spiritual war, and it's happening all around us. But even when I watched that movie, I thought about this right here. It's called Albert Pike's 1871 Plan for the Three World Wars. Albert Pike, major Illuminati person, high-ranking Freemason. But when you think Illuminati, people ask, who's Illuminati? Albert Pike is a good example of who was Illuminati. But just check this out. This is something he wrote many, many years ago, 1871, to Mazzini. But right here, the Third World War, and again, this isn't him being a prophet. These Illuminati, these Masons, since way back, since Solomon, since Babylon, they've been around building this one world order, building this system, this Antichrist system to come, so they know what's coming. Right here is what he said about the Third World War. It says it must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery and of the most bloody turmoil. And it goes on and on and on, and just kind of shows how people were disillusioned with Christianity, and they're going to destroy the Christians. And right after they destroy the Christians, they're going to destroy the atheists. Okay, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. So, just a little. Okay, so, whether you're into the Darwin thing or not, this is just highly offensive, obviously, and pretty disgusting. Fun facts, though, about Darwin, just something to kind of look into for yourself if you're not familiar. He was a huge misogynist, all right, a huge bigot, major racist, and his wife actually converted to Christianity. So, a few things to check out there with Darwin, okay? Not to ruffle any feathers, just throwing it out there, all right? So that's what happens with the movie is, she winds up meeting Paul. The idea of evolution is pushed throughout this movie, too, consistently, because the two main characters who are on this trip with Paul are atheists. They say that in the very beginning. However, once Paul comes into the picture, he's constantly talking about evolution, and the whole idea is that we are going to evolve into Pauls. Eventually, we're going to evolve into aliens. I did another video not long ago where some scientists came out and said that we are actually made up of alien DNA. Another piece to the puzzle, you see, guys. All this is coming about. You can look back into Genesis, look back into the Bible, and when the fallen angels came down and mated with the daughters of men, they mixed their DNA with ours. Prometheus, that movie, there was some of that in Prometheus as well. All about the fallen angels mixing their DNA with ours. So you got this idea, again, it's taking away any glory from God, it's taking away anything from Jesus, and it's all about us evolving into this other species, okay? So there's a little bit of that right there for you. And, like I said, throughout the rest of the movie, I'm not going to cover a lot more of it. I think I kind of gave you the gist. I mean, there's some stuff in there where Paul's talking about, on his planet, he's asking if these guys are gay, and they're like, no. He's like, well, hey, it's cool, man, because on my planet, we're all bi. It's all about feeling good and how good it feels. Again, those are the, satanic ideals we hear so much about. Do what you feel. You're governed by no rules nor laws, but by the ones you put on yourself. Okay, so you see a lot of that kind of an idea in Paul as well. Like right there's a little scene where kind of a little lesbian vibe going on between these two. Now that Kristen Wiig here, her character has lost her faith and left God or whatever, she's kind of open to anything. So throughout the movie, the rest of the movie, she's doing drugs, cussing, just kind of doing what feels right. Whatever she wants to do. She's not governed by God anymore. Okay. Another thing I thought was interesting right here, Comic-Con is where these guys wind up. I've been to Comic-Con a few times. Lived out in California, like I said, for a long time. Great time. I'm a bit of a geek myself, but guys, you can't deny there's the Illuminati one eye. It's the Illuminati all-seeing eye right there, Comic-Con. And there's a reason, because the comic convention, of course, is all about popular culture and the comic movies and the comic books and the video games, but it's all idolatry, okay? That's what this is. It's all idolatry. They create our heroes for us, these people we go into these cathedrals and look at on the big screen, the people we can worship, these distractions that keep us away from thinking about the deeper elements of life, the true spiritual battle that's happening around us right now between God and Satan, right? Instead, we go and we worship our idols, all right? So that's comic. And here's one more thing I wanted to show you. This is I had to take a picture from the movie, actually. I put it up. But at the very end of the movie, they've made a comic book about Paul, and here he is. And of course, everyone would say, "Oh, look, he's doing the peace sign. Cool, he means us no harm." That's not the peace sign. That's the 5. That's the V. That's the 5th age. Okay, and the 5th age is when these things are going to appear. Now, some people debate back and forth where we're at with this 5th age and the ending of the 4th age. But if you look through history and you do a little research on this stuff as well, the 4th age is the falling away of old systems, religions, all kinds of things just falling away and shifting into something new, into a new age, the 5th age. The 5th age is the age of Aquarius. We're leaving the age of Pisces, which was the 4th age. Age of Aquarius, for lack of a better term, will be the one world order, the one world government, the Antichrist system, okay? And I do believe that that's when you're going to see these things revealed, all right? Again, I don't know all the specifics, but I do believe it's coming. So that's not a peace sign. That is the 5th age. So there you have it, guys. Another example of the messages in these Hollywood movies that many people aren't seeing, okay? But they're all around us. There's usually much more to the story. You have to look beyond what's given to you on the surface and try to see what they're really trying to tell you, all right? So anyway, guys, thanks again for checking out the video. Always appreciate it. You all take care. Keep your eyes open. Keep your mind open. We're living in dangerous times. We're also living in very exciting times. We are watching the separation of the sheep from the goats. I believe that. And if you feel you're under attack, you know what to do. Pray. Trust in God. Trust in Jesus in these days. If you have people in your life who are holding you back and not bringing the best out of you, people you feel like I said, just are kind of holding you back somehow, bringing negative energy into your life, I've always been of the belief system to cut them loose. You don't got time. All right, guys, we're running out of time. So just stay prepared, stay vigilant, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.